the Ontario Town Square. That's the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. 280 North Limit Apartments, Wells Fargo at 240 North Euclid Avenue. That's where McCarthy's at. This is D Street coming up right up here. State's fake son's keeping in perfect alignment after leaving 150 as told.
So he can stay in Washington, D.C. as crucial negotiations continue on the bipartisan infrastructure.
And you're also going to recall the documentation where it is already present at the upper end of Euclid Avenue in the city of Upland. All right, this is real-time movement of that light source, and this is demonic activity that you're witnessing. It's absolutely demonic. This is documentation of what is terrorism by the state of California, and your blatantly impossible conduct by that which is not the sun. Remember, it's also remaining stationary at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. That's documented as well.
The chair of the Progressive Caucus, Congressmember Pramila Jayapal, issued a statement that, quote, "This agenda is not some fringe wish list. It's the president's agenda, the Democratic agenda, and what we all promised voters when they delivered us the House, Senate, and White House," she said.
All right, now this is G Street, documented state's fake sun stationary right here at this intersection while I'm at that end of G Street. And here's the state's fake sun coming up to that intersection and proceeding in motion to remain in alignment with me past that location. Documented stationary presence, aiming inside of the windshield of the vehicle, right? Ongoing documentation of the state keeping its fake sun at this location as well while I was living in my car at 714 North Vine and in third party's car at 630 North Fern. State aiming its fake sun over the house of 630 North Fern while I'm in that vehicle at the same time. It's after 8 a.m. That's documented activity. You're witnessing the demonic activity. This is terrorism by the state, by that which is not the sun.
Tuesday with conservative Democratic senators Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, who received major donations from financial institutions.
If you recall my documentation when I captured as I'm standing at the intersection of Foothill and Euclid Avenue at 7:50 in the morning, where the state's fake sun is in alignment with me as I am standing at that intersection in the city of Upland. And yet what you have at this time, and the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment with me far from that city, far from that intersection, and in motion toward that location, right? Moving north of Euclid Avenue. And I documented the same conduct later in the day, moving as I walk on the sidewalk up to Upland, and the state is keeping its fake sun as I travel from the city of Ontario to Upland. So this is blatant stalking, and I have documented in every way that you can fathom. That is called stalking with light, and that is what the people of the state of California are doing. They are all engaging in that same demonic stalking. The state stalking with light is the personification of that psychopath, and it is the outward demonstration of demon possession, speaking to the entirety of that environment and every single last one in relevant position. There is no exception. Okay, this is J Street in Euclid. Coming up on 4th Street, this is Rosewood, keeping in perfect alignment. No longer over 150 East Holt, contrary to what I've documented up to after 10 o'clock. And in the afternoon, as I walk down the same street of Holt Boulevard, the state's fake sun over that same address of 150 East Holt, where I just captured it at 8:13 in the morning. All right, this is impossible to coexist. This is the state stalking with light.
It's at about half the level of what Joe Biden proposed.
This is the practicing of satanic targeting in the state of California. And by the way, it is 8:18 a.m.
It was negotiated by Democrats and Republicans, and it's seen as a must-have for the conservative end of the Democratic caucus.
And so the reality of what is ongoing right now, as I document every single last one, I remain subject to federal stalking. That's why the state is stalking with a light source in this manner. And every single last person in relevant position in their third-party facilitating homes, right? Those are venues. In any public establishment, they are all monitoring via communication devices. Contrary to the way they conduct themselves outwardly, understand he doesn't have to hold his phone out and look at it. Minions under the age of 18 and over the age of 18 are monitoring together. That's what's ongoing, and that's what I'm documenting as you're looking at what is not the sun remaining over my head. It's called maintenance of presence in the path while the state maintains that environment. And third parties are equally engaged in maintaining that environment. That's what I've shown as documenting third parties as they stalk with light, the same outward demonstration of demon possession.
Family medical leave program for the first time in American history, and it's the biggest climate bill that Congress will have ever passed. And I'm leaving stuff out too, the child tax.
Recall September 20th, 2021, as I'm leaving State Facilitating Venue, Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, and at 11:43 a.m., where the state's fake sun is nowhere near this location, it's over my head as I'm at Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, and I go to what is the venue at the intersection of D Street and Euclid, well after this time right now, where the state's fake sun is nowhere clear or possible to coexist with being directly over the entrance of that library, and then at that bus stop at 11:43, and the state is doing the exact same thing with this light source, remaining in the window of that vehicle as I am transported down the same street toward Euclid Avenue, all right, where it is mutually documented remaining at all locations, literally in the city of Upland and Ontario. That's essentially what I've documented, which is impossible. The sun is not the sky. The sun is not maintaining ubiquitous presence over everyone's head. You clearly see how a third party is walking in that direction. The state's fake sun is going in the opposite direction. It is not remaining stationary over the Ontario Public Health clinics. That is not what you're looking at with your plain eyes. This is movement, and it is necessary movement as it's remaining in my window. Okay? This is exactly what I captured on third-party facilitating venue Omnitrans at 11:43 a.m.
Let's pass this now, and then we'll work on the Build Back Better Act, which only needs Democratic votes because it's being done by reconciliation. We'll pass that later. And this is what progressives are rebelling against.
All right, it is 8:21 a.m. That is called light activity, and that's criminal facilitation, and it is deliberate. And there is nothing that is superseding the state's pattern of conduct. You're witnessing how the people engage in that pattern of conduct, and it's demonic. It's the practicing of demonic activity. That is Lane Security Paving Company. And they are indeed monitoring with communication devices. This is federal stalking practiced by a state.
Where do you want to go?
The same place you always
7-Eleven
do.
or the library?
7-Eleven is fine. That's the 10 freeway. States passing over the 10 freeway where systematic monitoring is underway. The people of the state are systematically monitoring while the state keeps its fake sun over the vehicle that I'm inside, any vehicle that I'm inside, on the freeway, which I have also documented.
But isn't part of the problem that Manchin and Sinema, while they are opposing supporting the $3.5 trillion bill in the Senate, refuse to say
We are now in the city of Upland. Coming up at 8th Street and Euclid Avenue at 8:22 in the morning. Like I said, I was moving up Foothill Avenue, if you recall my documentation just days ago, and the state's fake sun is on Foothill, remaining directly above my head as I am traveling west on Foothill Boulevard in direct conflict with what the state is doing now, moving north up Euclid Avenue to maintain perfect alignment with me, as federal stalking by the demon possessed is underway and was underway, as I documented at Starbucks. At Foothill, inside of Mulberry Plaza, that's what I was capturing, and that's why the state was also flying over my head and sounding plane engines, and the Upland Police Department engaging in federal stalking as well. That's exactly what I continue to document. This is the location where the state's fake sun is remaining over the same street as I exit the Upland Public Library in the evening.
Yeah, I was going to ask at the same time.
Dance Dynamics, the state's fake sun over the same street as I stand on the opposite side of this same block, and the state's fake sun is right over here. And it remains over the Upland Public Library, just as I've shown at every single venue. It's called Stalking with Light. This is 204 North Euclid Avenue, third-party facilitating venue, 7-Eleven, where the United States Post Service goes out of its way to show that they are demon-possessed stalkers acting directly on behalf of the state, under that which is not the sun. FedEx engaging in that same demonic behavioral pattern, stalking with light. The Upland Police Department, and all of the third parties, the people of the state of California. That is P.O.C. This is the city of Upland's 8:23 a.m. And the state's fake sun is directly over the 7-Eleven. P.O.C.